Before we begin, I'm going to ask you one question today. Has it ever happened to you that you are talking to someone or you are just thinking about something that you want to buy? Okay, for example, you thought that I need a bag, maybe I need to get a watch or something like that. Or maybe you're thinking about a particular idea or a particular brand, and after a while, when you open your phone, the advertisement of that particular thing or that particular brand pops up. Has it ever happened to you? Okay, people agree. Can any one of you share any incident? Yes, many times. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Since most of you agree, it would be really great if someone of you could share any experiences. What were you thinking about and what about it? Okay, it's about cosmetic products. Okay. Okay, it also happens to me at times. I'm not so fond of online shopping. When I was thinking about something and suddenly I open Instagram or Facebook, suddenly that particular advertisement pops up. Okay, some people have shared their experiences. Let's read. Bushra says, I wanted to buy a Balochi dough and I just ordered that on the Facebook and the same doubt appeared on Instagram on a different page. Okay, so that's one thing that you already you looked for certain thing and you already placed an order on Facebook, and then the data is so interconnected at Facebook and Instagram. They are owned by the same like the Facebook brand, and then you didn't type it on Instagram, but it appeared on Instagram. Okay, that is relevant. Whenever I'm hungry, I open Facebook and there is so many deals of my favorite restaurant. Okay. So Facebook knows when you are hungry and when to show you that particular advertisement. Okay, that's relevant. Jewelry, once it happened to me. Gulam Rabani, what thing it happened? Ma'am, with me, once I was thinking about that, I buy a dress. After a few minutes, I open it and I saw 50% off. Okay. Okay, one thing is it could be like you can it could be very general at times because maybe you have already liked the like similar pages. Maybe you are fond of, let's say, cosmetics, or you're fond of buying online clothes and you have already followed all those pages relevant to that, and when you open it, you can see all the time that they're the same things. But social media reads our minds. Okay, because, ma'am, almost I order from the Razep and so many. Okay, when you're a frequent buyer, you frequently look for things like that, then it's another thing because then it comes in suggestions. Okay, that is somehow acceptable. But the example that the Faisal has shared and the way I'm telling you, or like some people have mentioned earlier, or it also happens when we're thinking about a particular idea. Okay, for example, I'm thinking about climate action. Okay, I'm not generally into it. I wouldn't search my social media feed or it would have no any page relevant to that, let's say, for example. But I'm thinking about it, that we should do something about climate, let's say. Okay. And after a while, I open my phone and yes, Faisal sent to me a direct message, Rubani. Okay. So that particular idea or like pages relevant to climate action would pop up in my suggestions. So that's what I'm trying to say. Even you can try it in this an experiment. Okay, maybe don't type anything, or maybe think of something very irrelevant to your normal social media feed and talk to someone about it, or maybe repeatedly say that same word. And you can observe that do you find any relevant advertisements on your phone? Okay, Huda is saying, one time I wanted to buy art material and suddenly there are so many good shops come in my FB suggestions. I ordered my favorite products. So I'm also curious, like you guys, how does it actually happen? But it's very obvious thing that we all know how our data is being manipulated, and how FB, Facebook, or Instagram, these platforms gather our data and how they, read our minds and then manipulate our minds. Because let's say, for example, they limit my options. Okay, for example, I want to buy a bag, but they show me particular brands that then I would want to buy from that particular brand only. Okay, or if I'm thinking about an idea, but they would show me only limited perspective or selected information related to that idea until I go and search myself, and then they'll show me more options. So this is all about the social dilemma that we are all going through. And the thing is that social media, that was made for our information, that was made for us to communicate and have all these things, like let's say online shopping and all these things accessible to us. But what has happened is now these all platforms are running on a business model, and the advertising companies, they pay them. Okay, so
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope the idea is clear that what point I want to make. So basically, I'm talking about all of this in the context of WhatsApp's new privacy policy. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we have
Okay,
here.
so seems like most of us have heard about the new privacy
Huda
policy.
and Kiran is very horrified about that.
Okay, so basically, I knew it, like all of us would know about it, because when we go through like social media, we go through news, it's all over. Everyone is talking about it. But I also came across so many memes that some of you from your class and like so many other of my students and like everyone was sharing some memes as well. That हमारी ऐसी कौन सी डेटा है, हमारी इतनी कौन सी प्राइवेट डेटा हो गया, हम कोई प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, हम कोई एजेंट है जो हमारी डेटा ले भी लेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा. So I'm making all this point just to say that every information about you is your private information. ठीक है, आप कहाँ पर हो, where you are, what's your location, what like internet source you are using, what are some people around you. So all these things. So the point is that WhatsApp would not read your messages or your calls. They would still be encrypted, but they would take your data like your status, your let's say location, your battery data, the people around you, and like so many things like that. And they would be able to literally sell that information to Facebook, and then they can easily manipulate your mind. So they already have so many information about it, us, through all these platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all the social media apps that we use. And each of them have their own private policy, and they have all the information. And we could, all of us could relate to the point that I was making previously. So if they get even closer to us through our WhatsApp, because see, WhatsApp is a platform that we use for, intimate relationships, friendships, and like we talk about things that we personally are. Let's say, for example, Facebook and Instagram, I will scroll through that and I will see other pages. I would not show and share my personal details there. Okay. Maybe some of us would share our pictures, but we rarely do that. But on WhatsApp, we frequently share our pictures. We share like how we feeling and so many things. So I think that is getting even closer to us. And then that AI, artificial intelligence, and then social media, they would know so much about us, and then they can manipulate our mind, they can manipulate our political opinions, they can, actually play with their minds, and they will make us do what they want us to do. Okay, so it's up to you guys that whether you continue using WhatsApp or not, but I just want you guys to be vigilant, okay, and be a little bit careful that what information you are giving them and how you are being manipulated by them. So Faisal also mentioned this documentary called Social Dilemma. I've also watched it. It's on Netflix, but I'm not sure if it's available on torrent and all. So you guys can watch that. That is a really amazing documentary, and that would show you in numbers how they are actually playing with their minds. So so just be careful that whenever you are looking for a particular thing, go in a search box and search for more options. Don't rely on, the suggestions that YouTube or like these pages, I mean, these all things give you. Don't be played by these social media, rather be careful. So that's all I wanted to discuss about it.